Hi guys, welcome to Yatbo My T-shirt. I decided I'm gonna do most of my content now in English because most of my subscribers don't master the German tongue, and it's a lot to expect. So German is not easy. So this is the part 2 of the My T-shirt Kiss End of the Road tour. Yep. Let me give you a quick sum up of what this T-shirt is all about. In summer I was on the last ever tour of Kiss, and one concert was in Krakow in Poland, and I went there with a friend, and he gave me this T-shirt as a present. And so the following video is gonna be about the phenomena of Kiss. And since there is another guy who can explain that far better than I do, is Henry Rollins. For those of you who don't know Henry Rollins, some of you might know Black Flag or Rollins Band, and he used to be a pretty tough guy. I mean, he still is a tough guy. But at a certain point in his life, he decided no drugs, no alcohol, fitness, healthy diet, everything. And he's doing now his talking tour. So he talks a lot on stage. It's not comedy, it's not stand-up. He just talks about what's happened to him. And so he explains the phenomena of Kiss like in a way I couldn't possibly do it. So the following is gonna be like some of his experience getting dragged into a Kiss concert from his band members, and he describes how he experienced the whole Kiss concert.
This interesting thing happened to me last year, and it's wild. It's a great phenomenon that I got in on the tail end of. Last year, me and the guys in the band, we were touring all over the world, and we came here to your wonderful country and your beautiful city, and we had a rockin' time, and we visited 20, 23 countries, went all over the place, and we had a break between tours. We were home for a few weeks, and I am in a band with 3 Kiss fanatics, okay? 3 major Kiss fanatics. The bass player and the guitar player are kind of intermediate Kiss fans, but the drummer is a 6th degree black belt Kiss fan. You've met those people who's like every day is all about Kiss. Like, so it's Thursday, what are you doing today? Well, what do you think Gene Simmons is doing? Whatever Gene's gonna do, I'm gonna do. And so these guys always know way too much about Kiss. And that's our drummer. You can ask him, you can just make up questions. Like, Jason, what do you think of the differences between all the German 7-inch picture sleeves of Kiss from 74 to 76 when compared to the French picture sleeves of the 7-inch singles of the same year, but the French versions? And he'll wait for like 20 seconds. He's really mulling it over because he definitely has an opinion. Well, actually, that's a good question. I prefer the French sleeves because whereas the Germans use better photos, the French put the tabs of the single underneath the cover sheet. Here, I have them in this drawer. Here, come with me. I carry them with me everywhere I go. I mean, the guy is really intense. When you talk about Kiss, he has this theory that he unloaded on us the other day in the studio. He went, one day, all the people who don't like Kiss will die off, and everyone in the world will like Kiss. And he was as serious as a heart attack. And we're just saying, like, Jason, you are the man. He's like, what? It's true. We're like, sure it is, Jason, you bet. And so anyway, we're between tours, and the boys in the band call me up and they tell me that Kiss is doing the last ever tour of the world, and they're playing in Southern California, where we live, the night before we leave for another leg of the tour, and they can't get good tickets. All the good tickets are gone, and maybe I can get them tickets. hey man, can you help us out? Like, maybe you could get us some good tickets? And the naivete of these guys is so heartwarming. They think that I have pull in the music industry. And so maybe the boys in the band think that I can just make a phone call. Hello, Paul Stanley, Gene Simmons? They must live together, right? Yeah, it's Henry. Uh-huh. Yeah, I'd like 12 free tickets to your show. Uh-huh. And no dilly-dallying. Don't make me come over there, you know. And so I have no way to get to the members of KISS at all. So I said, you want me to get you tickets? Well, man, if there's anything you can do. Like, sure, fellas, I'll give it my best shot. Anything to hang up the phone and go, what the fuck do they think I can do? And so I asked our manager, I go, do you know of anyone we could call up and like buy some KISS tickets for the guys because they want to see the gig and there's no tickets any closer than 4 miles from the stage? And so he does some calling around, my manager, and he finds out that the only way to get will call tickets or guest list tickets is to go to Gene and Paul personally. They lord over all their own gigs. And I figure, well, we have these snowballs chance in hell now, because I can't get to those guys. And so he does some more phone calling, and like 3 days later, he calls up with very interesting and happy news. And he says, Gene and Paul heard your plea. They also happen to be fans of yours, and they have given you 12 free tickets and 12 all-access backstage passes. Pretty cool. And for me, that was kind of a woo-woo event. I went, woo-woo? What, I'm not going. I don't give a fuck. And so, yeah, I'm going to go see KISS. Oh, yeah, right. And so I call up the boys with the happy news, and I call up the guitar player and the bass player who live in this hovel down the street from me. And I said, fellas, free KISS tickets, all access backstage passes. And these guys are like the most politest guys you've ever met. They're like, oh, wow, man. Hey, Henry, man, thanks a lot. I'm like, no problem. I had so much to do with it, but I definitely held it as a future chess piece I can use against them later, like when the inevitable litigation comes around. I got 2 KISS tickets, you sons of bitches. And so anyway, so I call up the drummer. Hey, Jason, free KISS tickets, all access backstage passes. Boom. All you heard was the body hitting the ground. And so everyone in the band is very happy. And so the gig day is looming. I have no intention of going. It's my last night home before another leg of the tour starts. And I have nothing more in mind to do than lie prostrated on my bed like a beached whale, like the Duchess of York. Just like this bloated thing lying there amidst a sea of cracker crumbs, picking rapidly wettening Doritos off my ass cheek. Utterly useless night of this pigdom. So that's what I'm gonna do, in my underwear, only getting up to win something on eBay, then going back, feed me more crap. And so anyway, that's gonna be my big Saturday night. Now I've totally confessed as the total loser that I am. Not that you didn't get that from the first moment I walked out here. But anyway, and so I have no intention of going. And the boys in the band have heard that I'm not gonna go. And they call me, hey man, we heard you're not gonna go see KISS. Why not? And I have to make up this whole excuse. And you know, like when you have that great night of inertness planned, and your friends call, hey man, come out with us. And you have to make up this incredible excuse of all the things you need to do on that night. You never go, I want to lie around in my underwear and do nothing. You can't ever say that. You go, actually, at 7 p.m. I have to nip over to Los Alamos. I'm doing this thing with the Pentagon and NASA. And then I have to get back to LA, go into my garage. I'm working on an atom splitter, and I've got the thing to do a 70-30 split, but this fucking cyclotron is it's a pain in the ass, and I want to get a 50-50 split on this atom instead of a 70-30 split before we leave tomorrow for tour. So I'm a little busy. Got some experiments to do with some heavy water and other stuff I'm doing in my garage. So sorry, can't make it. And so I gave the guys all that, and they know that I'm full of shit. They went, yeah, well, anyway, man, listen. We just thought it would be so cool to see KISS for the last ever time and rock out with the big guy, man. Have you with us when we see KISS, and we could all see KISS together and like rock as one. And no one ever talks to me this way, okay? Oh, they did years ago. Hey man, why don't you come out with us? Fuck you, I live alone. I walk around my room of misery. consolidating my rage and my angst, writing really stupid fucking poetry in a locked out, blacked out room. I cannot go into lit rooms and talk with other people that will make me soft. The role of the artist is to live alone and be pissed off and uncomfortable all the time, to dig deep and rip out the real thing. Keep it real, keep it miserable, jerk off in your shower, keep it real. And so everyone said, oh, what an asshole, and they stopped calling me. And so these boys are like, hey man, you should come with us. I damn nearly wept. I'm like, you want me to go with you? Like, yeah man, you should come out with us, man, and rock out. Like, I'll be there. I hung up the phone, I'm like, click, what the fuck have I done? I've just basically married myself to a Kiss gig. Now, I have now said yes, I do not back off on a promise. I promised the boys I'm gonna go. And now I am standing in a long line. And at the end of the long line, there's a huge sign on this wall. It says, stand in this line for Kiss guest list and will call tickets. So I'm standing in line to get these tickets. I'm standing there behind this huge mulleted man who's always getting his mullet together. It's like standing behind a nervous horse. And the guy turns around and sees me. He's like, hey man, you're Henry Rollins. Yeah. Huh. Here to see Kiss? What do you do with a question like that? I'll tell you what I should have said, and then I'll tell you what I said instead. What I should have said was like, yeah man, I'm here to see Kiss. Oh, right on man, cool. That would have been the end of it. But instead of that, I went, am I here to see Kiss? Am I standing in a line with a sign at the end that says, stand in this line for Kiss tickets, will call /guest list? No, I'm not here to see Kiss, sir. Actually, I left my home in Hollywood and drove 70 miles out to this hellish place called the Blockbuster Pavilion here in beautiful San Bernardino, just so I could walk the grounds of the Blockbuster Pavilion and step over steaming piles of vomit to stand in a long, slow, seemingly unmoving line so I can converse with rocket scientists like yourself. What's the matter, you rock star dick? You can't answer a question? What's your problem? I have two choices. I can either fight and die, or I can employ a little bit of psychology and see if I can calm down this angry bunch of rockers. Men, we all like Kiss, and we all love standing in line, so let's all get back in line. We like the line, the line, the line. The line implies order. The line has stability. The line does not make us have to think. We like the line, the line. The line will lead us to Kiss. The line will take us to Kiss. The line. Get in line. Get in line. And the heads are, yeah, lines are good. Yes. This is a real good one. Real long and slow moving. Yeah, I'm gonna get in line. Good. Right over here, okay. Same guy gets right ahead of me. Minute goes by, turns around. Hey man, you're Henry Rollins. Yep. Huh, here to see Kiss? You bet. Cool. And so anyway. Get to the line, get the tickets to the laminates, and we go up to the gate, and the huge man, pats us down like, all right, no bombs, you can go in. And I go up to an usher with my ticket. I go, sir, here's my ticket. Please show me where to sit down. And I'm thinking he's gonna say, oh my God, you should have got here at noon. You have a 4-mile walk. Do you see where the top of that field is touching the clouds? You will go there. It is there you will meet the Sherpa guides who will take you to the top of the Misty Mountain. Here, you'll need these. Take these, these tablets for, sickness from altitude. Now, go. And if you're lucky, if you run now, you might be able to see the last song. Go, son, go. But instead, he looks at the tickets and he goes, wow. He's very impressed. Come with me. And he personally escorts us down through all this security where we have to show our laminates. And we're like, ooh, Gene and Paul have been very good to us. We are led to seats about 15 rows from the stage, dead center. We have like the best seats in the house, thanks to Gene and Paul. I was very impressed by the generosity of KISS. The band members are like looking at the stage, looking at their tickets. Jason, the drummer, is just looking up. Thank you. But dig it, it's the last time he's ever gonna see KISS. He is on the band's guest list, he has a laminate around his neck, and he's so close to the stage, his face is gonna get burned off. He is such a happy guy. So anyway, we're standing, in our places, looking at the stage. The opening band is wailing away on stage. Ted Nugent, okay? Exactly. Now, in this wonderful house tonight, maybe 1% of you or less have a Ted Nugent record. But a vast majority of you have an opinion of Ted Nugent, because he is one of the most unsubtly quotable people on earth. He never goes, "Hi, I'm Ted Nugent, have a nice day." He just says really fucked, loaded stuff, and he divides people easily. Either you're into the guy or you're not. You can't be neutral on the topic of Ted Nugent if you've ever been in front of him talking, because he's just, well, a lot of people think he's a prick. I might be one of those people, but... So anyway, he's playing, and I have not seen the Nuge play for 25 years. Back in 1880, when I was a young man, me and my friends used to go for like $8.50 and go see Ted Nugent play at this 18,000 seat place called the Capitol Center. And we used to watch Nugent go on stage for 2.5 hours and break audiences into little tiny pieces. He was so good. And so now, 25 years later, I'm standing in front of Nugent, and he is playing his ass off. He's got the hollow body Birdland, he's rocking, he sounds great, he's singing well. I'm like, whoa, the Nuge, he can still do it. He's gotta be 50-something, and look at him up there, he's looking great. And so he comes to the end of the song, and he takes this beautiful gig, and he throws it right into the sewer. He starts talking, and he ruins it. "I'm gonna play so sexy tonight, I'm gonna have all the faggots eating pussy." 20,000 people go, "Oh, yeah." At least 3 men around me are like, "There's a faggot in here?" "No, we're okay, Nuge. We've swept the perimeter. No homos. Keep rocking." So the Nuge keeps playing, and he does 2 songs back to back, mercifully not saying anything. And then he comes to the end of the 2 songs, and he yells out, "If you don't speak English, get the fuck out of my country." I wanted to go home so bad right then. I'm like, that is so lame. That is so not rock and roll. I think if you don't know English and you live in a country that speaks English like America, like Australia, and you're a citizen here, don't leave. Just learn English. How long is it gonna take you? 90 minutes? Okay, English-speaking countries use like 1/zillionth of the English language. All you need is 20 phrases and 50 loose words, and you have mastered English. Fuck you, stop staring at my tits, I was here first, you're fired, stuff like that. Fuck you, yes, no, and you're in. So don't leave, just take your lunch hour and master English. And what was really encouraging was hardly anyone around me responded when Nugent said that. He got like 8 people out of 20,000 to go, because they were so high. They would have done the same thing if he said, "I'm wearing shoes." And so anyway, mercifully, he plays 3 more songs. He comes to the end of his gig, which is signified by a guitar coming out of the ground on a piece of wire. He takes a bow and arrow and shoots the guitar. 4 pieces of confetti fall out the back, and a barely audible explosion happens in the back of the guitar, like... And he got a checked woo from the crowd. Everyone went, "Woo. Get a budget, man. That was weak." So anyway, the Nuge leaves. And then the skies darken, and I hear air raid sirens. Phantom jets come out of the sky and strafe the crowd with napalm. A human arm flies by me. The skies grow, red with thunder and fire and red smoke. And Kiss has taken stage. And it takes a full 50 seconds to a minute for the stage smoke and fire to clear so you can finally see them. And there they are, standing 7 feet high. And there's Gene Simmons picking people's pockets with his tongue, catching moths out of the air. And they're playing Detroit Rock City, one of the many guilty pleasure songs in the world. A song that in broad daylight you never admit to liking. Hey, what about Detroit Rock City? Oh, that's a stupid song. When you're alone, it comes on the car radio, you turn it really loud. You're like, fucking cool, man. You start driving faster, you kind of sing along. And we all have sung along to songs that we don't really know the words to, except for like 3 words in the chorus, which we sing with much gusto, And everyone has done that, and you usually do it at a really low volume. You're in the car and like, dream, let's see, do the night. And it's always a really lame song. Some people call me the space cowboy. Yeah. And subba-dooba-da thing of love. Some people call me Maurice. Abasu, dabba-dooba-da of love. And if anyone ever recorded you doing this and played it really loud, you'd never come back to town. Because it's so embarrassing. Because you reveal so much of your soul, like shower singing, when all of a sudden you're Aretha Franklin or Marvin Gaye. What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? If someone had a microphone, Big Brother, that'll cover it, everyone in the shower. But they'll be singing some lame bullshit like Jamiroquai. Anyway, hey, bitter old man, I can do what I want. So anyway, oh man, my senility's gonna be bitchin'. I think I'll start now. So anyway, when you do the equivalent at a rock concert when 150 dB are screaming in your face, it is so hilarious. There I am, screaming along to Detroit Rock City, a song I know at least 3 or 4 words of. I find myself rocking out to Kiss with my fist in the air. I do not remember at any time when I actually put my fist up there. I'm like rocking out, like, what am I doing? What are you doing up there? I don't know, dude, they rock. And there I am singing, doing that same kind of bathroom singing at the top of my lungs. It was hilarious. I'm in this rock pose. I'm a star, show me how, burn, show my side, who to be the doctor, who, ha, 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 ow! Get up, show my nama, do, basama, ha, get down, I'm a super lapa, ha, ha, who, ha! Our drummer looks over and catches me. And there's no way I can make it look like something else. I can't go like, boring. I was like, fuck it. Our drummer looks over at me and goes like, right on. Now you know. And so anyway, they come to the end of the song. It's punctuated with all this fire and smoke. Paul Stanley, the band's frontman, comes to the edge of the stage. He goes, San Bernardino! Ho, ho. I have always wondered why rock stars yell out the name of the city that they're performing in. All my life, 21 years on stage or longer, I've always been in places no bigger than this. And if I went, hello, Sydney, it would be so thoroughly insulting to you people. Because look behind you, you can see the exit door, the doorman, there's like 500 people here. We could all be on a first name basis in an hour. None of you are stupid, and you don't need to be reminded what city you're in. You all very well know. And so if I go, hello, Sydney, you're like, what are you talking about? We know where we are. Stop depersonalizing us. And so I've never done that unless I wanted a folding chair tossed at my head. And so there's Paul Stanley rather going, San Bernardino, ho, ho, ho. He turns into this rock epic. And it was at that moment I understood why big rock stars yell out the name of the city or the town that they're playing in. Because the people in the audience are so high, they don't know where they are anymore. When you are that stoned, you have the mindset of a goldfish. Every 35 seconds, hello, it's a brand new day. And so everyone's like, oh yeah, where's San Bernardino? Oh. And then Paul did something that was amazing. He looked right at me, pointed at me, and went, I love you. I must admit, I'll tell you the truth for once, I was very standoffish at first when Paul confessed his love to me. I was like, you love me? You don't even know my name. Get fresh with me, Mr. Stanley. And it was interesting to me that he picked me out of thousands of people and in such a public way, you know. And so at first I rejected his amorous advances towards me. You know, I was like, stop it, sir, please. And so the band slams into another song that I magically know at least 3 words of, and there I am making a total ass out of myself, having the best time. There I am, Strutter to Muhammad, and people are looking at me like, ooh, la, la, la. We're just having the best time, and they play nothing but the greatest hits, and the band is running all over the stage like there's no tomorrow. And every single time someone goes into a lead, it's not like when you see bands these days, okay, it's time for me to do my solo. There's Paul Stanley, this guitar solo's for you, San Bernardino. I'm like, fucking A, I love these guys. And there's like fire and smoke with everything they do. 5 songs in, Paul has yelled out in front of everybody that he loves me 3 times now. And on the 3rd time, I love you. He wore me down. And I was unable to keep Paul's love out. I could no longer shut him out. And all that male, I have no feelings except hate and the need for food and sex, all that just kind of crumbled, and I let Paul's love into my heart. And I'm unable to get it out. And so for the rest of my life, I know I can do bad things, I can be a horrible person, but I will always have the love of Paul Stanley. And when I'm down to like nothing and I'm just have like 4 saltine crackers in a cardboard box near the bus station, it'll just be 4 crackers, a box, and Paul's love. And you know something? That'll be okay for me. So anyway, they go on, and they keep on doing nothing but the hits, and Gene Simmons spits fire out of his mouth, which is really cool. And then at one point, Gene, who's been like flashing his tongue all night, he stands still, and a roadie puts a cable into his back, where we're not supposed to see that stuff. And all of a sudden he goes, ooh, and everyone's like, whoa, fucking Gene can fly. But everyone knew it was just a cable in a harness, and he goes like, and all of a sudden Gene Simmons is like 30 feet above us, and he's no longer doing his thing with the tongue. He's now has a whole different expression on his face. He's like this. When he's doing this bass solo. And we all know he's got something in his mouth. He's got a mouthful of cherry red corn syrup, which is supposed to be blood. And after the end of the bass solo, he's gonna go blah, and all the fake blood's gonna go all down his bib, and we're all gonna go, whoa. Now, Gene Simmons has been spitting corn syrup out of his mouth since 1858. And everyone at this show, except for me, has seen him do it minimum a dozen times. So you figured they'd be bored of it, and you figured Gene Simmons would be bored of it. No one was bored of it, not Gene Simmons. Me, I was becoming just a knot of anticipation, like, oh my God, here comes the blood. I totally was swept up in the theater of Gene Simmons, all this wild uplighting. His makeup is now like melting off his face. He looks utterly terrifying. He looks like this drunk kabuki doll. Like, and after the end of this bass solo, finally goes, and the blood goes down. I was like, we all were like, whoa, fucking whoa. It's amazing theater. And it's just the way he presented it, because we all know it's corn syrup, but the way he does it was such gusto and bravado and passion. It was awesome. Anyway, they keep playing. He finally comes down, and all the time we've been getting nothing but rockin' TNA the whole night. There's two guys on stage with these cameras. They're continually roving the crowd, looking for hot chicks, and they see hot chicks, and they put the camera on the hot-looking girl, and the girl sees herself 80 feet high on the video monitor, and she's like, oh my God. And you see the recognition in her face, like, that's me. Oh my God. You see her look at her face, like, look, that's me. Why do you women do that shit? Don't stop. It was amazing to see breasts 80 feet high. And me and every other pathetic guy is like, please. It was hilarious. And everyone in the crowd like, woohoo! That shit was so cool, man. And it was just festive. There's boobs and the greatest hits and fire and corn syrup, and the band flew around the stage, and they're running around like it's their first ever gig. And then you find out later, the youngest guy in KISS is 51 years old. And they're kicking the ass off like every band I saw last year. They have more energy than like 1,000 of these other bands. And they're all like old men. So anyway, it comes to the point of the gig where they have to slow it down for a little bit, and the band leaves stage, except for the drummer. Peter Criss comes out from behind the drum set with a towel around his neck and a cordless mic. And he sits on the drum riser. Hey people, can I sing a song for you? Would that be all right? A tape machine plays Beth. No band, someone hits play. We're going to do karaoke KISS with Peter Criss. If any other band did this, like what if a rock band came out and put on a tape and like played to it? You would be so thoroughly offended. You go, rip off, I want my money back. When Peter Criss sings Beth to a tape, it was so thoroughly endearing to me. Not one person around me went, hey, wait a minute, man, that's a tape. Everyone just went, I love this song. And we all had our fists in the air. And we're all singing along with Peter Criss. And the great thing about Peter Criss is Peter Criss cannot sing. Neither can we. So we were all in this very fucked up, fractured, note with him. Beth, I hear you calling. There's like all these men around me pouring their hearts out with this song. Everyone's in tears, but I can't come home right now. And I never really thought about the lyrics of Beth until that night. And if you think about the lyrics, you've all heard the song a million times, unfortunately. And there's this thing, about the lonely man calling his woman in the night. And he's calling from a lonely practice place. It's a rocker dude in a band, and he's calling Beth, who's somewhere out in the night. And he's telling her that he and the boys in the band have been playing, but they just can't find this sound. They cannot find the sound. This elusive sound is escaping them. And he just promises just a few more hours, and then he'll be back. But then, hark, he hears the boys in the band calling, and he beseeches Beth, Beth, what can I do? Beth, what can I do? And so I never really thought about the lyric, and it's a very gripping and kind of beautiful tale, and I never really thought about the subtext of this song. And now that I've been in a band for about 1 million years, and I know a thing or three about dudes in bands, I now think of Beth totally differently. Beth, I hear you calling, but I can't come home right now. Me and the boys are playing, and we just can't find the sound. How can you find the sound when you're fucking a stripper named Candy? You just can't do it. Just a few more hours, and I'll be right home to you. With some strippers spit drying on my dick, herpes scars and 4 incurable diseases on my wang. Beth, I hear them calling for more drugs and more whores. Beth, what can I do? Cave into peer pressure, you dumb rocker fuckhead. That's what I got out of the song that evening. But anyway, the band comes back on stage after the song, like, how'd you like that, people? And then Paul Stanley tells us that not only does he love me, but that he wants to get closer to all of us. He goes, is it okay if I come out there and get closer to you? We're like, what the fuck is he talking about? Okay. He gets on this cable thing and he flies like 100 feet over our heads, and like all of us, we wave to him, and then we wave as he goes back. How'd you people like that? We're like, fuck it, it was great. And so anyway, he's telling us that San Bernardino is the sole reason that Kiss has been able to realize their rock and roll dreams. Like, San Bernardino, you people have made our rock and roll dreams come true. 8 tons of, dynamite go off behind him. And finally, he comes out and he goes like, people, this is our last song for the night, and this is the last time we'll ever play Southern California, and you've been the best audience in the world. I damn nearly wept. I was so emotionally caught. This is the last time. Oh my God, this is history. This is history being made. And like, I love you too, Paul. Don't go away. And finally, Kiss, we're off stage, the confetti bombs exploded, we're all standing there waiting for the paper to come in. We're all covered in paper, blood, intestines, rock and roll. And we're staggering through this muddy, kind of misty field that is ripe with a smell of pot and vomit. And we're stepping over like just dead bodies, reptilian egg sacs born prematurely because of the DB level hitting the hips and just vomit. It's just basically the American low common denominator. And it was really intense. And so we're walking through, and the drummer in our band looks at me and goes, so, what'd you think? And I said, Jason, if I knew I was gonna have such a great time, I never, ever would have missed Kiss, ever. And he looked at me and went, welcome. Welcome to the family. I'm like, all right. And it was so great to see a band on stage rocking out with zero irony factor. They weren't like, putting on a show. Because you see bands these days, and they're somehow above rock. They have contempt for rock. Okay, here's our dumb ballad now. You're like, well, why'd you have to say that? Now I feel stupid for liking the ballad. It was my favorite song on your record, and you just called it stupid. So I can't like it anymore. So it was great to see a bunch of guys putting on a rock show. And there wasn't any like, here's one of our stupid songs. They went out there, this song is called Strutter, people. And they went into it, you're like, fucking A. I wish every band had that kind of commitment and passion to their music. And like Paul Stanley says, the coolest stuff between songs. Do you know what you people are? Fucked up. You people are animals. And it was so refreshing to hear that and see this rock spectacle. And I went back on tour to see like these pale bands on stage. Here's our next song, Raw. It's a single, I think. Jenga, Jenga, Jenga. Piss off. And I've got to open for these pricks, Rock and roll ninja, got to open. No one knows I ever play. And so we went right back out on tour after seeing this awesome rock spectacle. And we're off in Europe doing those Euro festivals where you play in these crazy eclectic bills you would never be on in the real world. And so there we are, playing in the afternoon. And right after us, Macy Gray goes on. Okay, like the rock, the R&B diva. Oh, she's wonderful, Grammy winning, the greatest thing to ever happen to magnetic recording tape since Ella Fitzgerald. She's just fantastic. Everyone bought that record. And there she is with like a 3-man horn section, a DJ, 3 amazing backup singers, a bass player, a guitar player, and a drummer who's playing with headphones on. Hired drummer was not on the record, and he's there with sunglasses on, with like headphones on, because he's playing to a click track. And so he's playing hired studio musician drum beats. Getting paid by the hour. No rhythm. Might as well be a machine. The backup singers are sweating their balls off. They are singing the entire gig because our Macy can't get more than a breath out every 5 minutes. If she ever happens to bump into the microphone, it looks like a mistake. Like, and the poor guitar player in the band is now the front man of the band. He's the one who has to like keep everybody in the audience awake. And they come to the end of a song, and the backup chicks have sung everything. And he goes, "How do you people like the Mason Gray Funk Show today?" And everyone stands there, so he has to show them how to clap. Like, there's like 22,000 Germans, and like 8 people go, "Yeah, it's okay. It's like kind of boring for me, yeah? It's just, I think she's on the heroin or something, because she just seems to be falling over or something. But it is okay though, yeah. And so they go into another song, and there's Macy like, I can't do it. And she goes behind the drum riser and lies down on the drum riser right behind the drummer's stool, and she's out. And the band is on there, we're doing a song, and the leader of the band has gone. And then Arik, the guitar player, goes, "Okay, everyone, time for a bullshit solo. And it's time for DJ Fuckhead. Fuckhead. I have no talent. I am a fuckhead. Fuckhead. I am not a musician. I take other people's music, and I call myself a musician when I'm really a fake." And so he does his thing, and everyone's like, "Yeah, okay, I'm falling asleep, okay?" And then it's time for the poor bass player to keep, thousands of Germans awake. The drummer gets a solo. What a waste of time. And there's Arik, and let the girls, and they're just waiting for Macy to wake up. I am standing next to Moby. I'm there with Moby, and I'm like, "So what the fuck?" He's like, "I don't know, man." And we're just like, we're just watching little Macy having a little lie down, okay? This is like 40 minutes into their 60-minute set. A road manager comes over. "Hey! Wake up and sing the hit!" She gets up there and leaves. They do like a 42-minute set out of 60 possible minutes, and the band is like, "And we're playing," and the singer's gone back to the bus. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for coming to the Mason Gray Funk Show. I was like, "Oh, I'm just glad it's over, okay? Put Moby on. Hurry up, please." And Moby went on, and the place went apeshit. And yeah, he's cool. But it's just really amazing to see what people are getting away with and calling music. And then you hear, "Oh, Kiss is gonna play," and everyone makes fun of them. "Oh, why do you want to see Kiss? A bunch of stupid old men with hair plugs." Well, the stupid old men with hair plugs kicked the ass off every band I played with last summer. They just blew them off stage. And it gives me a lot of inspiration to see old men out there just beating the crap out of all these hip bands who sell 7 million records a day. And it just made me understand the truth. You never, ever have to burn out.
Hey, hope you enjoyed this little trip with Henry Rollins through history. And one final piece of information I would like to give you about KISS that hardly anybody knows about. And that consists the two letters here, which has some similarities with some times in the German history which most of the Germans are not really proud of. So this is similar to the symbol of a special unit of the Wehrmacht during the Third Reich. And in Germany it's different. And I'm gonna show you here how it looks in Germany, and as far as I know that's the only country in the world where this double S is prohibited. And what people don't know is that Gene Simmons and Paul Stanley both are kids of parents who had to flee or had to leave Germany because of let's put it this way. Gene Simmons' parents were Jews, and Gene Stanley, his father, was Polish, and both of those parents, they left Germany and Poland because of the Holocaust. So, and I think it's pretty odd that this symbol, or this SS, is prohibited in Germany because of that. I mean, think about, your parents had to leave a country, and then the kids use a symbol which kind of represents the Holocaust. And I think that's weird. Let's put it this way, that you use a symbol of something that represents the reason that you had to leave a country. Okay, that's it. Take care. See you next time.